This is gonna be like the intro.
The intro?
Yeah, it's always cool when you're like driving and all of a sudden you're somewhere. What do you think?
The intro to like the whole thing?
This is gonna be the intro to like the meet in Philly.
Oh, right. Oh, I see.
What's going on, guys? As you can see, we are in Philadelphia, and me and Austin came down here pretty much for the whole weekend. I have 3 lifters competing at a USAPL meet at Dan Campos' gym. This video here is me and Austin trained at Iron Sport gym, which is in the was just in the area, and it's it's kind of like known as a powerlifting gym, but nothing crazy here. I think he was hitting some high bar. I ended up doing like my high bar tempo squats, which is basically what I've been doing on my main squat day. Just because I'm using lighter weight, so I figure might as well make it a little bit more difficult. Plus, just using a tempo squat is also going to benefit me. One of the things I was working on before I started really having the low back issues was basically not going as deep in my squat. So the tempo really helps me hit right where I want to. I'm hitting depth, hip creases below the knee, but I'm not getting buried at the bottom, which is really what happens to me on my heavier squats. So I think it'll really help with that once I start pushing more weight again. Hitting a little bench too. This was actually like our last training day of the week for last week, so we both do like squat and bench. Austin's been doing really well with the programming. Running something very similar to me right now. 3 times a week bench, 3 times a week squat, 2 times a week deadlift. So he's been doing really well. Here you're going to see basically as soon as we got there, the beginning of the meet. So Hung was a little bit late warming up, and I was looking at the time and looking at where he was with his warm-ups, and he had just hit like a 3:45 warm-up, and his opener was 4:19. So I knew he needed at least one more, so I just kind of made the executive decision to waive his first attempt. So I think it paid off. He ended up hitting his second attempt, which was really his first, of 4:19, and then we jumped to this attempt here, which was technically his third, but really only his second squat. And as you can see, he hits that as well. I mean, you can see that was only 2 white lights. Everything was called very strict at this meet. I don't think I seen more than 10 3 white light lifts. Obviously, I wasn't looking at every lift, but like what I'm trying to say is it was a very, very strict called meet. Here he is blowing up his second bench, 264, ended up missing his third. And here is the deadlift. Looks like a very clean deadlift to me, ends up getting red lighted, goes on to actually miss his next 2 deadlifts, pretty much due to, again, like technicalities. When you're competing in the USAPL, I mean, you have to basically have perfect form. You have to be completing the movements perfect, essentially. So he had a couple tough calls go his way, but he'll be back stronger than ever. This is Steve. He just blew up a third attempt squat of 391. That was a lifetime PR. Steve really impressed me, man. You would have thought this was his 10th meet, just the way he was all day. Super calm, confident. Yeah, just really impressed me. All of his lifts were really dialed in. I mean, he's pretty dialed in training as well, but like these were some of the best lifts I've ever seen him hit. That was a 274 bench, which I think is tied for an all-time PR. And then here's a 490 deadlift. I have seen him hit a little over 5 in the gym, but this is a USAPL meet, a full meet. So hitting all 3 lifts in one day, I mean, they're technically all PRs because this was his first meet. And you can see he blew that up. That's kind of what we're talking about now. It even surprised me seeing how fast that moved. Here's my third guy. This is Zach Heller. This is also his first full meet, so all of my guys that were competing was their first meet. This was his second squat, 413, made it look pretty easy. He ended up hitting 435 on his third attempt, but as he locked it out, he actually took a step back, losing his balance, so it got red lighted. Second attempt here on bench 282, pretty smooth. I think we jumped 10 pounds, and he ended up missing his third. Very tough third attempt. He actually grinded it out, but they called him for downward movement on the bar, so it got red lighted. And here is his third deadlift. He actually missed this on his second attempt, I think due to soft knees, but ends up pulling it here, locking it out. So great job by him as well, going 6 for 9. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the support. See you next time.